Welcome back to my player career on Madden 19, but wait, this looks a lot different from the normal player career. We're now on the Raiders, and we're no longer a player, we're actually an owner. So, I need to let you guys know what happened. Very tragically, at the end of Antho Shrambush's last season as a Buccaneer, he was cut. And considering he was the most unathletic player in the NFL by a long shot, he was not re-signed. So, what he decided to do with all of his free time is develop a time machine, use that time machine to go back in time to the 2018 season, or before the 2018 season kicked off. But before he did that, he made sure he made a note of all the winning lottery numbers, right? So then he played the lottery, won a crap ton of money, and bought the Raiders. True story, that actually happened. This is where we stand right now. The only thing is that, you know, the players of the Raiders were not too excited about this. First off, they have a coach whose name is Antho. Like, that's kind of weird. He's pretty young. He's younger than most of the team. So the team did not want to stay. What happened was, Antho Shrambush negotiated with a bunch of these younger players who are very low overall. So they haven't really proven themselves too much yet. But a lot of the veteran players and a lot of the better players on the Raiders, you know, there's not many of those guys left after John Gruden kind of stripped away the team. But, like, Derek Carr is gone. Marshawn Lynch is gone. You know, Shrambush tried to bribe Marshawn Lynch with a couple bags of Skittles, but I guess some other teams gave him more. I don't know, but he's not on the team anymore. The wide receivers are depleted. Everyone's gone. Amari Cooper was already gone. You know, at least there's some good scheme fits on the offense. And then on the defensive side, a couple players from the Raiders stayed, Markel Lee being one of them, like the highest rated player on this entire team. Actually, Maurice Hurst is. A couple rookies wanted to give it a shot. So Maurice Hurst is actually the highest rated player on this team. Hopefully Antho Shrambush can build this team around him. Eddie Vanderdoes is still here. Arden Key, another rookie who will get some playing time, is also here. But, like, you know, part of the reason why the players left, you know, was because Antho Shrambush is now the coach. And he keeps trying to tell people he's from the future, and everyone kind of thinks he's a creep. But he somehow is, you know, the coach of the Raiders. Also, the other reason, this one's probably more major, as to why all the players left, is because, you know, there were rumors going around that Shrambush is going to be crazy enough to relocate this team somewhere else. Not sure where he's going to do it yet, but we'll figure that out in this video. He wants to relocate the Raiders somewhere else. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the United States or in Europe or something, somewhere else, and that's why a lot of the players wanted to leave too. They didn't really want to move away from their families, all that good stuff, or move their families to a different place. So now, let's begin the process of relocating the Raiders. And just like that, after week 1, Antho Shrambush has made his decision and started the relocation process for the Raiders. So we'll have to decide where we, you know, want to move to. Right now, we are able to view the available cities, you know, where we're going to relocate to. So we can go to London, we can go to Mexico City, Toronto, San Antonio. I'm not going to go through all of them because you guys probably know how this works by now. We will just have to decide which, you know, area we want to go to, and then I'm going to base this off of, like, the potential teams I can choose from. I also don't want to choose a team that has been done a ton of different times or is currently being done by a bigger YouTuber. So let's try to find one. Antho Shrambush, along with the help of Lady Shrambush, have come to the decision to relocate the Raiders to Chicago. Not exactly sure which team to choose yet. Honestly, I'm leaning towards the Blues. But it kind of depends on the uniforms. I'm not sure what the other two, or actually I don't know what any of them look like off the top of my head. But I do know we are going to Chicago. The teams we can choose from are the Raiders, which is not going to happen, the Blues, the Cougars, or the Tigers. So the Tigers look like really similar to the Bengals, so we're not going to do that. The Cougars have a really low fan interest, so that's kind of like deterring me from wanting to choose them. So then it comes to the Blues, who, you know, have a nice logo, decent fan interest. We're going with them. It's come time for us to pick our uniforms, so we can choose between this one, or this one. So even though they're one of the less popular ones, not by much, by 10%, I think I'm going to choose Style 3. I think they look the best, honestly, with, like, the design on the shoulder pads. These are kind of too plain and remind me a bit of the Lions, a little bit too much of the Lions, I think, especially the blue one over there. And then this one, like, it's not bad, but I'm not a big fan of, like, the dust-covered, you know, style on the shoulder pads. I really like this one, so let's go with Style 3. Now we get to choose one of these 5 stadiums to go with, so we can have that one, this one, this one, this one, or this one. So, like, the one I'm leaning more towards is the basic futuristic one because it looks awesome, at least from the outside, and I think I've seen some gameplay within it, watching other people's relocation franchises. So I think I'll go with that one, but, like, you know, some of these other ones are pretty nice. Like, you can have, like, the traditional basic stadium, or, like, a sphere, or a hybrid. It looks kind of cool. Honestly, I have never done a relocation franchise before, not even, like, just for fun, so I don't really know how all this stuff works. I also chose the owner, like, who was a former player, because why not? Even though I did go back in time, I don't know, Shrambush is kind of delusional, likes to live in the past, which is, like, kind of the future at the same time. It's weird to think of. But kind of, he was technically, like, a former player. I don't know. But anyway, we are going with the deluxe futuristic stadium. Surprisingly, the team did not make the playoffs. They went 1-15, which is coincidentally better than the Buccaneers did their first season with Antho Shrambush. Let me just, very quickly go over the stats. Nick Mullins was the starting quarterback, if you guys didn't notice. 20 touchdowns, 3,300 yards. Obviously nothing special. Donnell Pumphrey was the running back. He had 5 touchdowns. Bo Scarborough was the backup. He had 3 touchdowns. Deshaun Hamilton was 1 yard away from 1,000. It's actually a good season. DJ Chark, 7 touchdowns. Joshua Perkins, 6. Blocking, probably atrocious. Actually not that bad, if I'm being honest. Marquise Flowers had a good season. Sack numbers, no one got a bunch. Maurice Hurst played pretty well, though. 15 tackles for loss. Interceptions, we have 2 from a bunch of guys. 1 from a few guys as well. So, the team was obviously terrible. I'm not going to go through the stats any more than that. But right now, we are able to re-sign staff. So re-sign your staff before they hit free agency. Do I want to bring back John Gruden? Oh, man. I have no idea. I could completely go without John Gruden. What's this guy all about? I have no idea what I'm doing here, to be completely honest. So I might actually end the episode here, because this is just like an introduction, and I really don't know what to do with those guys. Like, let me know what you guys think I should do, or like just give me any tips for relocation franchises, because like I mentioned, I've never done one before. So I don't want to do anything yet, just in case I mess up. So that is going to be the introduction to this series. Hopefully this one will go for a while, and hopefully we can get some really nice rookies. I'm not going to sign anyone in free agency next episode, or just in general for this first season, because I want to keep it where I have this team again pretty much, and then I just draft a bunch of players who become starters. Next episode will be the draft, though, so that's something to look forward to. We have a ton of draft picks. I'm pretty sure I have the Raiders' actual draft picks. I at least tried to mimic what they did in real life. So that's nice to see. I have their actual draft picks, because in the game, like, they still only have 1 first-round draft pick. I don't know why. Whenever players get traded for draft picks in Madden, it never actually updates the draft picks in the game. I'm not entirely sure why that happens. I'm excited for this to, finally take form and draft a team, and I'm excited for this series entirely. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.